Hi. So I'm going to make you this video of nice, easy, gentle introduction to yoga. And this should give you a chance to get your joints moving and stay nice and loose. So we'll start by sitting down comfortably on your mat. You can have your feet any way you want them. There's no right or wrong way to do it. If you have blocks, I'll show you what to do with the blocks later. You don't need them, it's okay too if you don't have them. And I also have a strap here. If you have a belt or something you'd like to use, I'll show you how to use that as well. But first we're going to begin by sitting in a nice, comfortable seated position. If this is a little too hard on your hips or your back, you could take a block, a pillow, a blanket, or something, and place it underneath your hips. And that'll bring you up a little bit. It might make you a little bit more comfortable in this position. So let's begin by sitting with our hands gently on our knees. I'm not squeezing, I'm not forcing anything, but let's close our eyes and take a nice, easy breath in. Inhale. And a nice, easy breath out. Exhale. Slow inhale. And a nice, gentle exhale. And you can take a couple more breaths like that on your own, aiming to get your inhale to be the same length as your exhale. Listening to the sound of your breath, clearing your mind of any worries you might have. Nice, gentle breathing. And when you feel ready, take your final exhale and open your eyes. From here, we're going to turn our palms up to face the ceiling. And as we inhale, we're going to raise our arms up, shoulder width apart, keeping our shoulders down and in the sockets. And then exhale, turn your palms out and lower your hands back down to your knees. Inhale, turn your palms up, raising your arms. You can look up if you like. And then exhale, turn your palms out and exhale all the way back down to your knees. One more like this. Inhale, turn your palms up, reach up, keeping your shoulders where they are. And then exhale, turn your palms out and bring your hands back down to your knees and let them rest gently. Let's take our chin and touch our collarbone. Exhale. And then inhale, gently raise your chin, look up at the ceiling. And then exhale, tip your chin back down to your collarbone. One more like that. Inhale, look up. And exhale, looking down. Keep your chin against your collarbone and just shake your head gently from side to side. No, no, no. And then raise your chin back up. Next, we're going to take our left hand and bring it across to our right leg. Our right hand is going to go behind us, and we're just going to turn and look to our right hand side. And breathing there. If that feels okay, you can turn your head a little bit farther and start to look back over your shoulder. But if that's too much, just stay looking to the side. And then exhale. Release your hands back to center. And then the other side, bring your right hand across to your left leg. Left hand goes behind you. And just turn and look to the left. This should feel nice and easy. There should not be any pain in your neck or your back or your shoulders. So if there's no pain, then you can turn and start to look back behind you towards your shoulder. And you'll notice when I started to turn my head, nothing on my body changed. Wherever my body was is where I keep it. Then we're going to take our hands and we're going to reach forward like we're going to catch a ball and really stretch, trying to keep your back where it is, everything where it is except your arms are reaching out. And then inhale, bring them back down toward you. Then we take our right arm and we'll bring our hand to our left shoulder. And we'll take our left hand and bring it up, and we'll start to push our right hand past our shoulder and stretch this whole part of our arm. And if that feels okay and you'd like a little more stretch, you can straighten your right arm. And then exhale, release. And the same thing with our left. Start by placing your left hand on your right shoulder, bringing your right hand underneath, and start pushing your elbow backwards so that your hand goes past your shoulder. Only go as far as it feels okay. And if this is good, then you can stretch out your arm nice and straight. And then exhale, release. If that all felt good and you'd like to do it again, then hit pause and do that whole sequence over again, because that feels really good. We're going to come to our hands and knees. If this is too much for your wrists or your knees, you can place a blanket underneath, something soft. But you want to line up so that your shoulders and hands are in one line, your knees and hips are in another, and you're nice and square. And as you inhale, you're going to tip your tailbone up, look up, and sink your belly towards the floor. And then exhale, curl your back nice and round. And then inhale, look up, tip your tailbone up, sink your belly, and then exhale, curl your back. And one more. Inhale, looking up, really sink your belly towards the floor, and exhale, curl your back. Good. If you'd like a little extra challenge, you can lift your left arm, reach forward, take 2 breaths here, and then exhale, place it back down. And do the same with your right. Inhale, reaching forward, 2 breaths, and then exhale, place your hand back down. If this is feeling okay, then you can come down to your forearms and just stay here for a minute. Take a nice breath here. And if you feel ready, you can start to reach your arms forward and stretch your back. If that's too much, don't worry about it. You can do that another day. So let's come up, however you want to come to standing. And we're going to do what's called a moon salutation. This is relaxing for the evening, but it's also a very gentle way to introduce yourself to some yoga poses. So we start facing the long side of your mat with your hands, fingers intertwined, like a dancer. And you can take a breath, inhale, and exhale. And on your next inhale, you're going to turn your palms down and up. Inhale. If that's too much, you can separate your hands and reach up like we did when we were sitting. Inhale, and we're going to tip to the right and stretch the side of our body. And inhale back to center, and exhale, tip to the other side. And back to center. We're going to take a nice wide step apart. Bring our arms up. Turn our toes out and come into a wide squat, goddess pose. Take a couple of breaths here. If that's too much, you can start to straighten your legs. And we're going to turn our left toes towards the side of the mat, our right toes towards the front. We're going to place our hand on our thigh. Don't touch your knee. And we're going to just reach up. If this is easy, you can slide your hand down, but I would keep it here on my thigh. Then we're going to turn towards the front of our mat, step your foot in a little bit. This is where the blocks are good. You could also use a book. You place them on either side of your foot. Your hands go there. And this is the pose, pyramid. Take 2 breaths here. And then take the blocks away. And you're going to place your hands down. Lower your left knee. You can flatten out your foot. And bring yourself up, hands to your knee. However deep you want to make this stretch, you can. Just press your knee forward. If that feels okay, you can let your hands come down to your sides, or you can reach up. But feel free to stay here and try those other hands when this starts to feel comfortable. Then we're going to curl our back toes under, straighten our leg, and come back up to the goddess pose again. And then we're going to inhale our legs straight. And we'll do the same thing over here. So now our left toes face the back of the mat. Our right toes face the side. Our left hand goes on our thigh, right by our hip. And we're going to bring our right arm up. And I'll show you what to do if you don't have any blocks or anything to rest on. You're going to step your right foot in a little bit, and both hands are going to stay on your left leg, and then you're going to lean forward. Same pose, just with your hands here. If you can reach the floor, then you would do the full pose. Otherwise, you can hold your leg anywhere you want. On your ankle, on your calf, not your knee or your thigh. And then we're going to bend that front leg, place our hands down, lower our right knee, flatten our foot, and hands to our left leg. And you're always pressing that knee forward and this leg back, so you feel a stretch right through here. It doesn't need to be a big stretch, so don't push too hard. If that's okay, you can lower your hands, or you can raise them up. And again, you can try those another day. Exhale, place your hands on the mat, curl your toes under, press yourself back up to standing. And we can go back to the goddess pose. Inhale. Step your feet together. And come back to where we were. Hands up. Tip to the left. Inhale. Exhale, tip to the right. And back to center. And then lower your hands and take a breath here. And if that went well, we'll try one more sun salutation. This is a little bit more challenging, but might as well give it a try. So you're going to face the top of your mat and your toes are together. Standing nice and straight, keeping your face looking straight. You're going to reach up and exhale. Bend your knees, hold your elbows, let your head dangle, and relax here in a forward fold. Take a couple of breaths there. And then bend your knees so that you can place your hands all the way to the floor. However far you have to bend your knees is okay. If you have to come to a squat, that's okay too. You're going to take your right foot and step back. Place your knee down. And you can work this leg out so that you return to this position again. And then exhale. You're going to lower yourself down all the way to your belly. And then you're going to raise your head and look up. And then exhale, press yourself back. And from there, if this is feeling okay, you can lift your knees and come to a downward facing dog. Now, if that was too much, you can come back to your knees and do it like this. And this feels really good. You can move your hands even farther forward and stretch. Or try for that down dog. And press yourself back towards your heels. And when you're ready, look between your hands and start to walk your feet forward, lifting your hands when it gets too hard. And again, hold your elbows. Take a couple of breaths. And then inhale, slowly roll yourself up all the way, reaching up when you get there. And exhale, hands to your sides. Again, if you want to repeat that, you can rewind and do that as many times as you want. So let's do a couple of sitting poses for your legs and your hips. And we'll start back where we began, which is in a comfortable seated position. If this is easy and you'd like to try something a little harder, you can put the soles of your feet together. And you can hold your feet, or you can place your hands on your knees. And you can just sit here, look up a little bit, and press your chest forward. From the side, this is how far I'm going. But my back is straight. And I'm leading with my chest, not with my head, but with my chest. And then release. If it's easy, you can place your right foot on top of your left knee. Your left foot goes under your right knee. Place your hands out to your sides. Inhale, look up, and then exhale again. You're going to lead with your chest toward your legs, and however close you can get. And once you're as low as you're going to be, you can let your head drop. You'll feel it in your right hip. And then inhale, come up. We're going to switch our legs. So now our left leg is on top. It's very important that your knee and your foot are together. And when you look down, you'll see a triangle inside your legs. Same thing, arms out to the side and lead with your chest. So you can think of lifting your chin as you go downward. And again, let your head drop. You'll feel it in your left hip. And then inhale, come up. You could take another twist here, placing your hand on the bottom of your foot and looking to the side and back. And release. And let's go back to the other side. And same thing, hold your foot and a nice gentle twist. And then inhale, release. Let's come to a squat. So, you can have your feet any distance apart, but they need to face outward. You can have them really wide and balance with your hands, or closer together. Wherever is comfortable for you. And just take a couple of breaths here. And then inhale. You can place your hands on your knees. However you can come up is just fine. Let's do a couple of strong standing poses. So start by facing the front of your mat. Take your right foot and step way back. My left toes are facing the front of my mat. My right toes are facing the wall. And bend, start bending into that right leg. You can do what we did before, which is place your hands on your leg. And if that's easy, again, you can bring your hands down. You can bring them up. Bring them down. And straighten that leg. And we're going to turn. So now our right toes are facing the back of the mat and left toes are facing the wall. My body is facing straight over this leg. And then bend your knee. You can let go. You can bring your arms up. You can bring them back down. Back to your leg and press yourself back up. Nice straight leg. Step your back leg in a little bit. And we're going to do another triangle. And this time you'll see it from the back. So I'm turned. My arms are out. And I reach wherever my hand can go except my knee. If this is too much to raise your hand, you can place it on your hip. And then inhale, come up. And we'll just switch it around to the other side. So my toes again are facing the wall. Other toes are facing forward. And I'm going to reach. And again, whatever you did in the first one, do it on the second. And then inhale, release. And just step yourself to the top of the mat again. And I think one of the last things that we'll do here is a little bit of balance. Everybody does a tree pose. So we're going to do that. So you're going to take your right foot. You can either press it against your ankle, your calf, not your knee, or start to lift it to rest on your thigh. Wherever it is, you can place your hands on your hips. You can bring your hands to your heart. You can bring them out like branches. Whatever you choose to do, but find a spot on the wall ahead of you that you can stare at, and that will help you with your balance. And then release that foot. And the same thing with your left. Whatever you did on the right-hand side, you're going to do on the left. So if you had your foot all the way up here, then that's where you should put it. Otherwise, the balance is the same no matter where that foot is. Nice deep breathing. And then release. I think we've got enough to get you started. Whatever you choose to do, there's a few sequences there that you can start to draw from, and that you can practice some of those moves. And when you get more comfortable, I'll make you another video. So good luck, welcome to yoga, and thank you for my pillow. I love it.